It's like my hypothesis why all African guys have a big piece is because African women have big bundas, and you need the reach. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Mashallah, my brothers, and welcome back to another, I don't know why I went with the Muslim straight up. There's no Muslim theming or any Muslim, there's no Muslims here, unless you've recently converted.
I haven't converted yet. I've been thinking about it, but...
You have been taking your shoes off indoors, though.
Yeah. I think that's just a respectful thing to do. It's part of their culture I can get behind.
Yeah. Bit weird to do it in the loos, but whatever.
Yeah. Anytime I enter a house, I will take off my shoes and my trousers. Just good practice.
I do remember when you came round for dinner, and you also went commando that day as well, which didn't help. I think you'd forgotten about that.
Sometimes I can upset the mood at a dinner, but for me, I was loving it.
Yeah. It was nice of you. I don't think you'll be back for next Christmas. But by the way, what do you think about this? This is going to come up later, but on the theme of Christmas.
Yeah.
Going on a night out on Christmas Eve. Wrong?
Wrong, yeah.
It's wrong.
A couple of quiet ones in the local pub. I would
Yeah.
say that's fair, but I don't want to be fucking dying on Christmas Day.
Imagine having a hangover on Christmas
Yeah.
morning. That's just, it seems immoral.
Especially like a really bad hangover will completely put you off your food. Imagine not being able to eat your Christmas dinner just because you had a few the night before. I'd be fuming.
Yeah, mate, imagine trying to force down a sprout on a hangover.
Yeah. Especially with my fucking Christmas dinners.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bad?
Unbelievable, but just the access of them. Like, it's just sheer greed, but I wouldn't be able to get through a quarter of it with a hangover.
You know when some people post their Christmas dinner on their story, which by the way, why are you doing that? I don't give a fuck. But I do get a bit of entertainment about like the bad ones.
Yeah.
The really bad ones. You know, they're floating in a sea of gravy, which is like, how did you even get it that
You need
colour?
gravy. There's people that have it without gravy, like any gravy, which I think is mental.
Yeah, so I've got a friend, she not only no lubes the roast,
Yeah.
but also she eats it individually, so she'll eat like all the meat at one time.
Oh, you need to mix it up.
No, she's not even chopping and changing with the bites.
Yeah, that's mental.
So she'll like work her way through like the dry parsnips
Yeah.
at the beginning, and like I guess she's working her way around in like reverse favorite order,
Yeah.
which I don't know where you end up. Do you have a big meaty finish? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was always a roasty guy, but
I like the roasties as well.
Yeah.
The one thing that, for some reason, people over here don't have like spuds, like mashed spuds in their Christmas dinner.
yeah, because you have a roast potato. That's
Yeah, but you have both. You double up in the potato.
nah.
You don't go overkill.
This is why you guys had a famine. You were actually fine. You just eat way more potatoes than we do.
I'd actually have 3 different potato-based foods on my Christmas dinner.
Right.
Because my older brother doesn't eat spuds, so they'll make. He
doesn't eat spuds?
Yeah.
In Ireland.
Yeah, it's mental.
I would assume that potatoes is one of those, and I don't know this, but I would assume that potatoes is one of the foods that people with autism do like.
Nah.
Because there's nothing to it.
Any autists I've ever met are big, like, you know, like McDonald's fries, like that exact type of chip.
Yeah, that is a fucking potato.
Yeah, but they love that, but it's like the texture of mashed spuds just disgusts them for some reason.
Right. Okay. It's incredible that I said, I think autistic people would like potatoes, and you were like, no, they don't. They like chips.
Yeah. I thought we were still specifically talking about mashed spuds.
Right. So autistic people don't like mash.
Yeah.
That's
I
just
think
a fact
that's,
of it?
yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
factual.
Maybe we could do immersion therapy. Bath of mash.
You know what? A bath with mash and gravy, I could get behind that
Yeah.
and just be scooping it up.
I'm worried if you have a bath with mash and gravy and you start eating it about the willy particles.
Yeah, you'd need to scoop from the top very quick, but you can't. Imagine going underhand.
I'm not getting a mouthful of that if I've come into contact
Yeah.
with it. So I'm eating around myself in that situation.
But then again, just through pure osmosis, your ball particles will have touched
yeah.
parts of the spot.
It's like when someone rips arse and like their bum particles are in your nose. Like
Yeah.
that's how you smell it. That's how it works.
I heard somewhere, and I don't know if this is completely fact, but it might be almost one.
You absolute bollocks.
But apparently, whenever you're smelling a fart, you're actually tasting it. I don't know whether. Do you
Yeah,
wanna-
well, smell and taste are interrelated, and it's
Yeah, they are
definitely
linked.
true that the bum particles go in your mouth.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I think I don't want to be.
I'm not totally against the idea. What if they're like really hot?
Yeah, but like I enjoy my own farts, but I don't want to taste them. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy the smell of them, but I don't.
You enjoy
like
the smell of them?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, I don't enjoy the smell of them, but I enjoy the action.
Yeah.
Especially my favorite one, about to get off a train and you leave it behind when the doors close.
Oh, that's class.
So you're not only you can't smell it yourself, you're out in the fresh air, but you've trapped everybody in there.
Yeah.
In a
last
sort of
minute as
you've
well.
Dutch ovened the entire carriage.
Yeah. And you don't have to put up with any of it.
No, and you can't even be pinned
away scot-free.
responsible. Yeah.
That is a great fart.
You ever like ripped a fart in a lift and then like someone who's really fit gets in? And it's not funny anymore.
I done it in like my first week at the fellas, and then fucking they're like fucking COO or CCO, yeah, jumped in.
Well, so you like really stink bombed this lift.
Yeah, and it was one of them ones where it was like a Monday morning. I was out the night before, and I just got on the lift.
As you do.
Yeah, but
Big Sunday.
I think it was like a Super Sunday. Arsenal were playing, and 1 pint along with the match turned into a few too many. You know, whenever you get into a lift and you're like, thank fuck, I got through the first phase of the day without having to interact with anyone. As the door was closing, I had already fucking released the fart, and then you just see the hand coming through. I was like, oh, wait. I was like, and the whole time, even though I don't know whether he smelled it or not, I was on edge.
I think in that situation, what I would do is do exactly what happened when I got fumigated by the bloke with really bad BO on the train this morning, which was like, not make a fuss about it. Don't even pretend to be disgusted in the moment, but then post an Instagram story to 100,000 people after that.
Yeah, that's like
calling him out.
That's the way to go in our generation.
Yeah.
I got charged 40 quid for a haircut and just happily accepted it. It was like, oh, great job, and then got 10 feet from the door and made a TikTok about it.
Did you not go to the Turkish?
I didn't. It was like the first time
You had a white man trim?
Yeah, a white man trim that cost me 43 quid actually. And whenever I booked it, it said it was 35. So I don't know what happened between booking it that morning and fucking getting the haircut at 1 p.m. that day with inflation that he charged me an extra 8 quid. But I was fuming. And then
it's funny because sometimes you buy things and you can see them make up the price.
Yeah, on the spot.
Yeah. So when you get in a cab and you forgot to agree that it was on the meter.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, he just shafts you at the end.
Yeah.
Just like, how can I fuck this guy over in the most efficient way possible?
But it was like, whenever I sat down in the chair, I asked for what I usually get, which is like a skin fade. Like I think I got a 3 in the top. And whenever I mentioned skin fade, I was like, oh, that's not what you put down. I just put down haircut. I assumed you were paying for their time, but apparently a skin fade costs more.
I didn't realize you had to book in for a specific.
Yeah, neither did I. I just clicked haircut, but apparently there's different options in his website. Why does it fucking matter whether I want a buzz cut?
I think, mate, it's your fault for going to a barber with a website.
Yeah.
The ones I go to, they don't even have a cash machine. They just.
Oh, they only take cash, do you mean?
They don't even, the card machine.
Yeah. That's like Chinese's and chippies are the same. You know they're going to be unbelievably tasty whenever they don't take card.
Yeah, and there's no one in there.
Yeah. And the wall hasn't been updated in 20 years. They don't update the prices. They just stick a bit of paper with the updated prices on top of it.
Mate, have you heard about this? In America, they're starting to implement digital price tags so they can just change the price at any time.
Fuck that. There will be a loophole with that someone finds out how to hack it and gets like something really cheap.
What they could do though is like between the time when you take it off the shelf and the time you buy it, it could increase in price.
Yeah.
Realistic, right?
Especially if you're shopping with my mum. It takes like fucking 3 hours. I also... We've been doing our shopping online, like me and my woman, for months since we moved to London.
Yeah.
And like last week, we were like, you know what? We just go to fucking Sainsbury's, get out and about, see if there's anything extra.
I've been there before.
And it was... Arsenal match kicked off at like 2 o'clock, I think it was.
Right.
We got there at 12:30. I missed the whole first half of the Arsenal match.
Wait, the Sainsbury's?
Yeah. First, it just took fucking ages. And
was it one of those Sainsbury's where they also sell baby clothes?
Yeah.
So it was a big one.
It was a huge one, to be fair. But then we got in the queue, and whatever the fucker was doing, like, you could hear the like rival queues, and it would be beep, beep, beep. This fucker, whenever we were way at the back of it, you could hear beep, beep every 10 seconds. It must have been. I'm not even trying to make an offensive joke here, but you know, sometimes whenever they let someone with like disability in for a shift just to keep them busy on like a Saturday. That is a thing.
Yeah.
I think that might have been what it was, because we were in there for nearly 2 hours. I felt like off of myself. I missed fucking Martinelli's goal.
Oh well, you'll get over it.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get to the most miserable looking cashier guy at the checkout.
Yeah.
Because, the chatty cashier.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't care how your day was. You work in a Sainsbury's. You're like the least interesting person of all time.
Yeah.
All you do is, and if you go to Waitrose, it's even worse because everyone there is genuinely old. I don't know what it is. I think they've got a thing about hiring like people who have been recently widowed or something and need something to do with
They've got a scheme going.
Yeah, they need to take their mind off the deceased.
Whenever I worked at Tesco a few years ago, I worked at one in like a small town where I'm actually from before I moved to the city one, and that one was strictly 80-year-old women. And they could barely like push the trolleys. Must have fucked their productivity up so much, but they still insisted on hiring women that looked like they had about 3 weeks left to live.
At least you can pay them in shillings. Stuff. And like egg and cress sandwich. They'll eat those sandwiches that no one wants at the end of the day.
Every week there's always the egg and cress and the shit biscuits left. The ones that says nice on it.
They love
nobody
shit
ever
biscuits.
Eats. Yeah.
I genuinely think it's because when they were a kid, like the nicest thing, like the ultimate treat was a Werther's original. Oh, right? Like one Werther's original, because that was probably the weekly
singular
ration.
one.
Yeah. So like if you grow up like that, I don't think you ever really get over it. Yeah. It's like my granny. So when I lived in Indonesia, they came to visit us. And my granny, who's like the opposite of everyone else's granny. Everyone else's granny, also I've been told, haven't had this experience, is trying to feed them up. Always putting food on there, always giving you biscuits or whatever. My granny is the opposite. We go round there, it's like the war is still on. I leave, we go there for Christmas, I leave hungry. It's unreal. It's unreal. So we're in Indonesia. They come to visit us. She goes, do you want us to bring anything from England? And I'm a 12-year-old kid. They don't have Mars bars in Indonesia. And I was like, please, Mars bar me.
A few Mars bars.
It's been like 2 years. I haven't had a Mars bar. And she was like, okay, yeah, cool. So bring a Mars bar. I'm really looking forward. I'm bigging up this Mars bar, right? This is who my granny is. She cuts it into 5 and she lets me have one piece. What is this? The bombs aren't falling anymore, granny.
See if I was 2 years without my favourite chocolate bar and someone brought me fucking one, never mind cutting up into 5 pieces, I would at least want a couple of 4-packs.
That is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah. And this isn't like, obviously Mars bars don't have share size ones. I was going to question, was it like one of those £2 bars that you actually could get a good bit of chocolate off, but this is just a singular Mars bar.
They don't have a share size?
I don't think so.
Is the share size bigger or smaller than, I genuinely don't know.
Bigger, like the pound ones you see of like...
They've got the Mars
chocolate.
Duo.
Yeah.
Which you'd think is 2 normal size, but it's not.
It's not. It's 2 like fucking dwarf Mars bars and they're still like £1.30.
Yeah.
Which is mental.
And like, it's 2, but I want one long one.
Yeah.
Personally. Then it wouldn't be a Mars Duo, so that's
that is
stupid,
true.
isn't it? But whatever. Anyway, let's get into our first. That's the most waffle ever before introducing any segment ever. Which is, I didn't even get to the fact that I was going to point out that fasting in a lift might be the worst place to do it because there's nowhere to hide. And you're under the light as well.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
Like you can see the whites of the eyes of every person in that lift and like read their soul.
You can see the fucking nose start to twitch and they know you're under them.
And like there's nowhere for the gas to go either.
Yeah. Especially like it was one of those ones where you get in the bottom floor, but just as you get in, someone calls it to the 4th floor. So you're riding it to the top, then coming back down. So it's a long session in the lift.
Yeah.
And the fumes are
They need to improve the algorithm
of the lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into our first segment then. Not news. This is what hit the headlines this week, and news from the flourishing art scene of America. As 48 hours after a 13-meter tall grotesque nude statue of Donald Trump was erected on the side of a road in Nevada, it has been stolen. So this is good stuff. It's less than 30 miles from Trump's own hotel in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's some kind of political statement by some kind of Trump hater, which there are a lot of. People have tried to kill him twice, so it's by far. But I think this might be my favourite, because if you look at the actual statue, can you bring up the picture?
Yep.
It's just a genuinely good piece of art.
I had a question about this, just you mentioning that it was probably some sort of like Trump hater.
Yeah.
Do you think it's more likely to be a Trump hater or like a crazed Trump fan trying to build some sort of like weird shrine?
I don't know. I think Trump fans, because they would believe that he has a 6-pack. Whereas this, like, for anyone just listening at home, like, he has got a crumpled ass, a minuscule penis.
Yeah, that you can barely see with his belly.
Well, you can barely see it from the ground. Yeah. Incredible. There's no way he'd be able to see it.
For the record as well, this is 43 feet.
Yeah, so it's 13 meters tall.
That is a great conversion there.
Brilliant. I definitely didn't Google that beforehand. So, like, of course, I would assume he hasn't been able to see his penis for quite some time.
I would say so, yeah.
Which must be demoralizing.
Yeah, as far as I've got, I've always been able to see my knob.
Yeah?
I think if I got to the stage where I couldn't, that's whenever I get a huge wake up.
Have you ever slightly obscured the base?
Nah, never too badly.
You also have a Johnson on you. You got a piece.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
You do strike me as a man with a girthy knob.
I appreciate that. It's in proportion with the rest of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny, because my two roommates at school, one of them, we were like Boggis, Bunsen Bean or whatever, from Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, yeah.
Like the farmers.
I only watched that for the first time like a year ago, but I get the reference.
One of them's skinny,
yeah,
and one of them's short and fat. And the other one, I don't know. One of my roommates was skinny, and the other one was short and fat, is what I'm getting at. And the skinny guy had an absolute pencil on him. And the other guy had, I don't believe that chodes are real.
Until him.
It's the closest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's not, it wasn't a chode. Because my big thing is, like, the chode is a myth. I've been saying this for years.
You have. You famously always said that.
I've always said this. Because I haven't seen anything, even the fattest, shortest people I've ever met, I've never seen anything close to a chode. And if you Google images it, I don't think there's anything where you could point to and say that is definitive proof that a chode exists. It's like flat Earth. Like, if you Google flat Earth on Google Images, it will show you a picture of a flat Earth.
Yeah.
Like, it shows you pictures of chodes, but I can't tell you for sure they're real.
You've never seen one in the field?
No, in all my years of research.
That's what I was about to say, actually, and comment on. Every week there's a story, and whatever way it leads to this, you always have some sort of relation of seeing a cock.
Yeah?
Like, whatever it is, there'll always be a story where you've seen someone's knob. And I don't know how much you're being exposed to dicks, but like
I had some prime years. Like, I had a peak.
Right.
Sure. I haven't seen many knobs, like,
recently.
Because
you did admit one time that you do have a look in the urinals.
Oh, mate. If you're going into the urinals and you're not having a cheeky glance at the guy next to his knob, are you really living?
I would say I am living, yes. Without doing that.
I'm not saying I do it every time.
Yeah.
But occasionally, you got to admit, occasionally you do have a little side eye.
I don't.
I just want to see how I'm matching up.
Because even if you were curious, I would be that sort of terrified of them catching me. What happens then? Surely if you
I don't turn the head. That's the technique. So I'm staring straight at the wall.
Yeah.
Right. I'll just give it a little.
Right. So hang on a second. If I'm just stood beside you here.
Yeah. Let's do an experiment.
Do we get our cocks out? Mike can blare it.
I'm good. Right. So we're just both having a calm pace. We're in Victoria Station. Could you tell?
Did you do it?
Yeah.
I fucking couldn't.
Mate, I'm so sneaky.
You've got the technique.
I'm so sneaky. Yeah.
You're like a veteran of the
I'm not just comparing penis, by the way. I'm comparing stream.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see if anyone's putting some real swaz on that.
There used to be a lot of my
I'm comparing balls.
Balls? What do you look for whenever you're comparing balls?
Volume. Plumpness. If that's a word.
Do yours fill out your sack?
Sorry?
Do your balls fill out your sack?
Oh.
Is it like a tight sack?
It's not what I thought you said. But
okay.
Oh, do I have any folds?
Yeah.
That's what you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that happens as you get older. Right now, I got a tight number.
Nice one.
Slinky little scrote down there. As I imagine we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be whenever I was in school, there was a lad that was like a couple of classes above me, and we would always just end up going for a piss at like the same time every day. He always went into like the cubicle.
It's like when women hang out in their periods.
Yeah, our pisses generally did synchronize.
Right.
But I would be like taking a piss in the urinal, and I would be done, and he would still be pissing, and I'd go wash my hands, he'd still be pissing. I'd be drying my hands, and he'd still be pissing. And I got so, like, I was like, oh, why is he pissing so much longer than me? Like, I was really jealous of this at the time. I was like, what's he doing that I'm not?
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt so emasculated.
Right. I also have a tiny penis, so I often lose. Like when I'm looking at other guys' knobs out the corner of my eye, they're often bigger than mine. That doesn't. I'm not upset by that. That gives me motivation
to grow it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you?
Don't get jealous. Get inspired. Is what I'm saying.
Have you put in any techniques to try and grow it?
Have you heard of jelking?
What is it called?
Jelking.
Jelking. I haven't.
I don't do it, but this is the sort of thing that would be discussed. Like Cal and Chip would do 25 minutes on jelking on their podcast. This is such like fellas material.
Yeah.
Jelking is basically doing stretch board torture on your knob. I think. You know, in the olden times when they would, if you were, a criminal or something, and they'd attach each of your limbs to a rope and put you on a board and then stretch you out like that.
Yeah.
That's basically jelking. I don't know if it's real.
So do you reckon you would have had a really sought after knob like back in the day, where it was sort of like all the statues you see always has the tiniest cock? Cause
I'm rocking that build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it that was such a sought after thing back then?
I don't know.
It's
I
weird.
think you'd have to ask an art historian.
Do you reckon people
One of those old fucks from Antiques Roadshow would tell you the answer,
Yeah,
but I have no idea.
Do you reckon people generally had smaller cocks, or that was just whether you had a huge cock or not? You were
No.
I'll give
That
you a
was
small one.
It was the beauty standard.
Yeah. Can you imagine nowadays though, like you were commissioning someone to do a statue of you and they had the cock like half the size, you'd be raging.
I don't think I'd have myself naked in my own statue. But,
No inspiration from this.
you know those statues they have outside football stadiums?
Yeah.
Well players. I'd have one of those.
Even like you doing like a knee slide?
Maybe I'm naked though. I also don't play football.
Maybe like naked from the waist down, but you still have the boots and stuff on.
Still got the boots on.
Just no shorts.
Still got the shirt.
Yeah.
I'm clutching the badge.
Yeah. The captain's armband.
Captain's armband.
Shin pads.
Yeah. Captain's armband. We play as one. Gay band.
Yeah.
Headband.
Kick it out in the sleeve.
Scrum cap. Yeah. Kick football out of races.
Kick football out of racism.
That's not what it is it?
Kick racism out of football.
Right. Yeah. Kick football.
Like, we're trying to be racist. Get rid of the football.
Mate, all these football fans destroying the racism I used to love. Honestly. Anyway, let's go back to this statue. So it started a wave of basically copycat statues.
Yeah.
So in New York City, LA, Cleveland, Seattle, it's been popping up. Basically smaller versions of this.
Yeah.
So it started a trend, or it's contagious and it's spreading like wild.
It's like you always see like copycat killers whenever a serial killer's on the fucking loose.
Yeah.
Something similar.
It's like that guy who tried to write in pretending to be the Zodiac. Like interesting thing about the Zodiac killer is there's no way to confirm those letters are actually, from him.
Yeah. Even though they do think, like you Google it, someone comes up now. What's his name? Something.
Arthur Lee Allen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he died in 19... I hate when the serial killers die before you find them.
Yeah, leave us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, mate. So the Nevada Republican Party slammed this pop-up statue, which, by the way, since then has been stolen by someone. I don't know. As an offensive marionette designed intentionally for shock value rather than meaningful dialogue. While Democrats, especially Kamala Harris,
Yeah.
continue to prioritize shock value over substance, President Trump, by the way, not the president,
Yeah.
is the only candidate in this race standing up for working men and women across Nevada.
Just you mentioning that has always annoyed me. It doesn't matter if someone was a president 50 years ago, they still get called Mr.
They
President.
still get called Mr.
They're not
President.
fucking president anymore.
Imagine like you Margaret Thatcher, you dig up the corpse of Margaret Thatcher and you say, well, she was Prime Minister.
Yeah.
For some reason there, for a second, I thought they had a different word for women, but they don't. She was the Prime Minister.
Yeah. I don't think I'd say that.
Yeah.
I'd probably have a different choice of words.
That's like me going to to Jude Bellingham and being like, oh, mate, Mr. Birmingham City, this guy. You don't play there anymore. This guy doesn't work for the government anymore. Yeah. He's he's literally a TV presenter.
More or less.
Trump. When he's not the president.
I think he's like 3 months away from showing up in a Kai Cenat stream. Yeah.
He so would do that.
Yeah, absolutely would.
He would feature in like a Mr. Beast video.
Yeah.
He would.
I don't think he has the staying power to like hold on to the Lamborghini that long though. He won't be driving off in it.
So you're saying if Trump was in one of those challenges, he's not going to win?
No, definitely not.
I don't know. I think he would. I think he would because he always wants to win so badly.
Are you familiar with many Mr. Beast challenges that you could maybe? Nah.
No.
I said, do you know which one he'd most
I don't
likely
watch
win?
them because I'm not 12.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them either.
He's had a lot of shit recently. You gave the camera a look now. I saw that. Mate, you've been doing that because I watched it back, right? And occasionally, I never noticed it before, but 30 episodes in, occasionally I will say something. Usually it's some posh thing you've never heard of, and you give the camera a cheeky look, and you specifically make a note to edit it into your frame.
Well, usually Matt live cuts it.
Right.
Yeah, so me and Matt's both in on this. It's like
You guys been holding us behind my back for so long.
It's not our fault you don't watch your own fucking podcast. Also, just goes to show that you can't see me doing that with this vision.
Mm.
And I was sort of still shocked that I couldn't see your glance whenever you were looking at my cock whenever we were pissing earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like when magicians figured out you can steal stuff from people. You know when they like interview a guy and then they take his tie.
Yeah.
And like he does like a full 360, the magician that he's talking to, and like his belt comes with. It's like, how did you not notice you can't? But, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, here's an awesome quote. So they interviewed some people who came to see the statue, and this is gives you an insight into the intelligent mind of the normal American. I think it's funny, said Nathan, age 32. So there we go.
Well said.
Let's move on to our next story, and this one is Northern Irish, because we had originally planned to have Shane Todd, the Northern Irish comedian, on this episode, who unfortunately couldn't make it here today, and I actually planned an entire segment built around his name. I googled someone called Shane Todd and ended up finding an American engineer working for a Singapore government-run firm before dying in mysterious circumstances in 2012.
I'm not sure. Fucking great story.
Yeah, so it's thought that he was working.
We'll just say it anyway.
Yeah, I'll just say it anyway because fuck it, why not? It's good stuff. It's thought he was working on a secret project for Huawei, which is the Chinese company that owns every 5G network in the world.
My first mobile phone as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
All my friends were getting like BlackBerry curves.
mate, the BlackBerry Curve was sick back in the day. You know, stinky Chinese phone.
I did have Bluetooth though, and someone in my class Bluetoothed me Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa, and it was the only song on my phone for 2 years.
Can you share files by Bluetooth?
Yeah, you could back then.
Yeah.
A girl in my class done it, and I thought this was like her coming on to me at the time.
Right.
But it turns out she thought it was weird.
It does happen.
Yeah.
That's the era. I'm not sure when it stopped, ended. There was an era where 3G used to work.
Yeah, it's so shit now.
Do you know what I mean? Like, now, if you don't have at least half bars of 4G, your phone doesn't work.
I know.
But 3G used to work. That used to be the ultimate.
I have to hold mine and like up near the ceiling in some parts of my house to get it. I live in fucking London.
Right.
Yeah.
But why did it stop working?
I know. It's mental.
It used to work on those shit phones like you had.
Yeah, flawlessly.
And now it doesn't even work on a good phone.
I know. I don't know what that's about.
Explain.
Yeah. We need to get a Huawei. Or how do you pronounce it?
Huawei.
Huawei.
That's, yeah.
We get someone in from them to explain.
Well, it's all those, those US government people are like, we're going to ban TikTok because China owns it. But China already owns all the 5G networks in America, so unfortunately. Anyway, this guy, he allegedly committed suicide by hanging. But there's loads of inconsistencies between the police report and the scene, as well as a suicide note that he probably didn't write.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of conspiracy flying about this guy.
Maybe one day we'll have the real Shane on. And
we can tell him about that. Anyway, back to this actual news story that we prepared. A 58-year-old woman in Northern Ireland has attacked members of the public as they tried to free a seagull she had captured. Belfast courts heard how Angela Wildman put a baby seagull in a sports bag. So probably that drawstring plastic one you get from JD, I would imagine.
Yeah. You see a lot of them in Belfast.
Yeah.
Also, surely with all the fucking sectarian hate crimes, the Belfast court would be too busy to be dealing with a fucking seagull.
I don't know what that word was before hate crimes.
Sectarian?
Sectarian.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said sectarian.
Sectarian? Just hate Sikhs?
Yeah. But I wasn't...
Yeah.
Sectarian. Okay.
I'm sure they exist as well, but I was talking about sectarians.
Yeah. So the courts She put a baby seagull in a sports bag before assaulting members of the public trying to help the bird with a, quote, long-handed mop and a large carton of milk.
You know, like zombie games where you can choose your melee weapon?
Yeah.
I don't think any of them would be near the first.
Carton of milk's pretty underrated, though, because that thing can get heavy.
Yeah. I suppose, is it like a 1 litre, 2 litre, 3 litre? If you had like a 3 litre bottle of milk, that could fucking knock someone out, I reckon.
Do they come that big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 3 litre. How much is a pint of milk?
I haven't got a fucking clue, mate.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't even know, and I'm skint.
Mate, they always ask, if you're out of touch, if you don't know what milk...
Apparently so, but I know it's not that... It's obviously got more expensive, but I'm not that skint where I have to look, because I'll usually just buy the like little pint bottles, which is like 80p.
Yeah. I don't look at the prices of anything.
I can't remember who it was, but someone was asked that. They were trying to catch some like celebrity out, and he was like, oh, probably like 10 grand.
Mate, I saw a video with Bill Gates once where they asked him to name the price of like ordinary items. He hasn't got a fucking clue.
Yeah.
But I respect it, because obviously he would never fucking clue. He doesn't go shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's out of touch? So I don't look at the price of anything in the shop when I buy it.
Yeah, that's mental.
Is that mental?
Like, to what extent?
I just never look at the price of it.
For a meal deal, for your dinner, for anything?
Anything.
Do you do groceries?
Yeah.
Online in a shop?
I go to Tesco and I go shopping like everybody. I'm not like an alien. I do know. You are aware of this concept.
Yeah.
But I just don't look at the price of anything.
That is mental. I aspire to one day also not be able to look at the price of anything.
I think it comes from my dad.
Did he also not?
He was like, so when my mum met my dad, funnily enough, she thought he was like posh and upmarket because he would buy like name brand ketchup.
Yeah.
And he to this day, he refuses. He stands by that.
Would he be able to tell the difference if you like blind tested?
I don't know. But
that would be fun to see.
It's not really relevant to his thought process because he never tried any of the other ones, obviously. But it has to be Heinz.
Yeah.
You know.
Like last night we were making burgers and I was buying like burger bops and there was some in the discounted section that were 4p cheaper. Yeah. And like I went and got them. Right. Even though they're like out of date tomorrow. I was like, you know what? May as well grab the discount.
Yeah, well, that's very reasonable. I'm not saying my dad is right. I'm saying...
Yeah, no, I'm just comparing it.
Yeah. And I think it's a byproduct of that I'd never look at the price of anything.
Yeah. I get you.
I am out of touch. That's so bad. People are going to think I'm a Tory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? There was a comment saying about... From the Willie episode.
Yeah.
Talking about the newspaper your mum works for, and I was like, confirmed Tory.
Yeah, so she works for the Telegraph. Yeah. And often it's called the Tory Graph. Yeah. It's a right-wing newspaper. Yeah. I will say, my mum is like, she's not like a political correspondent. She's a food writer. There's no political content in there. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. Anyway, this woman attacked members of the public, and her solicitor said the woman feeds birds, takes birds home, and looks after wildlife. She keeps herself to herself, feeds her birds, and cleans her house, does her shopping, comes and goes.
Sounds like a great person.
So just an ordinary, upstanding member of society. Yeah. I do have a problem with a tiny bit of this quote. Feeds her birds. A seagull, you can never own a seagull.
They're probably on about, what the fuck do you call them pet birds? Budgies or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. She probably has like 50 of them.
Right.
Which I always thought was weird, people that have like a full room just dedicated to pet birds.
Well, I don't really like pets at all, but I can understand having one of the main ones. It's when you have a snake or something.
Yeah. But birds aren't in the same category as like cats and dogs.
Yeah. I'm with you. That's why anyone with like a bird cage.
Yeah.
Also, smelly as fuck. But I know it's like a fish tank.
I also feel like, especially parrots, they just creep me out. Imagine lion
I've never known anyone to have a pet parrot.
I also haven't, but just the idea of them. Like you're a lion sleeping in bed or chilling doing something away from it and it repeats something you said like 3 days ago.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think they hear something, then they can then repeat
They don't speak English, but they can mimic the noise, right?
Yeah.
Is the idea. Because people think like...
As far as I know,
dog owners are convinced that their dog can speak English. Because when you say the word food, it like cheers up.
Yeah, it just associates that.
No, it's just a noise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but if... Do you reckon though it understands that you're saying food, and then once it gets food after, whenever it hears that same noise, the next yeah.
It's like Pavlovian response. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they're like, oh, food, yeah, I wouldn't mind some.
It's like when when the school bell used to go when I was at school, I would get a boner.
Yeah.
Because that means I'm free to go back to the boarding house and have a tuggy if I wanted to.
Did you always do it in the bus home, or did you wait?
No, I lived at school.
Shit, yeah.
Didn't have a bus home.
It would be a brave place to try it.
I wouldn't do that. Have
you ever wanked in a public place?
No.
Don't think I have either.
You brought that up like you were expecting me to say yes, though.
I expect you to have some sort of story about it.
Yeah.
Like some boarding school story.
I saw somebody's knob at some point. I could, apparently. Anyway, next story then. A goat has won a medal in a marathon. I was thinking about putting this in the sports section, but it's a goat, so it's not really sport. Yeah. A goat has won a medal in the marathon in Newfoundland in eastern Canada. The town of Conception Bay South, which is also what I call the vagina, hosted its first, you're going to like the name of this, Railway Trek Half Marathon. Railway. Oh, Trailway. sorry. I'm really
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's Trailway. Sorry. Genuine mistake. Trailway. Yeah. Trek hop. I was wondering what the fuck that was.
You got shafted by a formatting error.
Yeah, it's like my mum's friend. She studied Italian at uni or something, and there kept being this phrase that when you translated it into English, it just didn't make sense, and the phrase was dry reverbed, right?
Yeah.
She was like, "What is this dry reverbed? Dry reverb? Like I can never answer it." And she's like having problems with this. Also, I don't know why it was coming up so much. And then, like in the exam, she said that, and the examiner goes like, "Do you mean dry riverbed?"
Reverbed.
Dry reverbed.
Yeah.
I had the exact same experience. I must have accidentally put a space in that.
Whenever I was back in Ireland like a month ago, I was in the van with my dad, and I was like connected to the speaker. Yeah, just manly bonding.
My dad doesn't have a van.
What does he have?
There's a Volkswagen Touareg.
I don't know cars enough to. I don't even know why I asked that.
It's like one of those. It's like a mum SUV.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But we were sitting in the front of the van, and I connected to the Bluetooth, and he's all happy with this because his van now has Bluetooth for the first time ever.
Cool.
But I was like playing certain songs. Some he asked for, some I just played myself. Then there's one point where it was paused, and he was like, "Oh, who's that band there? Stop." Just because it said stop.
yeah.
And to be fair, instantly I was like, "Oh, I had a bit of a dad moment there, didn't I?"
Yeah, nice. Anyway, this half marathon happened on Sunday. The route passes the local pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
Where the participants were joined by a dirty animal. Here is a quote from the mayor. They have a resident goat at the pumpkin patch called Mr. Joshua. By the way, I hate that name for a goat.
Mr. Joshua?
The goat's name is Mr. Joshua. Yeah. And I also hate it when people give their pets human names.
We were talking about this earlier, actually. Yeah.
It's such an opportunity to give your pet a ridiculous name.
Yeah. If you had to pick one human name, is there one that would come to mind? Or would you just not play this game at all?
I think Horatio is kind of a good name. It's kind of a good name for a pet.
Horatio the cat.
A lot of people tell me I have a dog's name, which I do.
Yeah.
Which I do. But I've also never met a dog called Rufus.
Neither have I yet. I'm sure I will at some stage.
Yeah.
I know one more human Rufus than I do dog Rufuses, so...
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering who it was.
How long do you reckon it takes for this goat to get a runner brand deal? And start doing like branded runs with Theo Baker?
Yeah, and probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, start doing 5Ks with probably his girlfriend. Yeah.
It's making his fucking marathon look really shit that even a goat's doing it.
Yeah. So when the runners went past the pumpkin patch, the goat decided, well, I'm not staying here. I'm joining them. That is a quote from, you're going to like this, Mayor Darren Bent.
It's good to see he's still keeping busy after his football career.
Villa don't want him, but but the town of Conception Bay South will have him. It's just funny that that's his name.
Yeah.
Mr. Joshua ran alongside the runners for approximately 4 kilometers before his owners caught up with him. Then they walked the last half kilometer with him to get him over the finish line. I don't know if you've ever done a marathon, but they're not 4.5.
Of course I haven't fucking done a marathon.
They're not 4.5 kilometers long.
Yeah. So he's getting the medal, having done barely any of it.
He's a cheating bastard.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
So not only did he not win, he didn't even fucking do it.
Yeah. Imagine training like months, I don't know, maybe a year for a marathon just for a fucking goat to outshine you.
Gets an achievement medal for doing 4.5k.
That is like, I fucking hate participation
I could hop
medals.
that far easily.
You could jump it?
Yeah.
How many jumps? Just one?
It would be... I could jump about a meter.
Mm-hmm.
So 4,500 jumps. Actually, it seems quite hard now that I've said it. We very quickly put a medal around his neck, and he became quite the star. Most people who actually ran the marathon wanted their picture with Mr. Joshua at the finish line, said Darren Bent.
That's the best part about it.
That's the best post-game interview quote I've ever seen. Yeah. Some runners decided to keep pace with Mr. Joshua, speeding up and slowing down as the goat tired and then found another gear.
There'd be some people that's really struggling, like breathing through their hole, and then all of a sudden this slow goat comes along and they're like, oh, I'll pretend to...
I like the phrase breathing through their hole.
Breathing through their ass.
Is that...
Well,
must be Irish.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably is.
Does that mean you're really knackered?
Yeah, you're fucked, yeah.
Yeah, breathing through a hole. Because you need to get that oxygen in
somewhere.
Some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He's become a local hero and is due to do the ceremonial puck drop at a local hockey game next week.
Ah, lovely.
Which, like, how's he going to hold it?
Yeah.
It's a goat, mate. There's no... Doesn't have
Are they going to fucking tape it to the goat?
I don't know.
Or is it like
they're going to drop the goat?
Whenever people will be doing like an engagement, but they're real mental about dogs, so they'll put like the ring on a collar, and then the dog runs in and they take it.
Yeah.
It might be something like that.
Yeah, some people have like a ring dog at a wedding, don't they?
Yeah.
Which, like, why?
I know.
Also, like...
Do you have that little friends or family members that they can't do it?
Yeah. He can't give it to you, the dog.
You still have to bend down and take it out, which sort of defeats the purpose.
Anyway, let's move on to our next segment then. It's our sports segment coming at you now, Snatch of the Day. And early on in the life of this show, we brought you coverage of the World Gravy Championships, Gravy Wrestling Championships, which take place every year in a field in Lancashire. The 2024 edition of this historic and prestigious tournament has taken place, and the winners are in. And for the first time ever, a true gravy wrestling prodigy may have arrived in the sport, and it's never had one before. Sort of a Luke Littler moment for the sport of gravy wrestling. George Young, age 18, is the first teenager to ever win. And you can't see this right now, but Aidan was literally doing emails while I was reading that out.
No, I'm trying to get the photo up.
Adopting a Floyd Mayweather-esque strategy of not wearing myself out too quickly, adding that the lift of his friends and family chanting his name has spurred him on to win the men's title. There he is on the left, which, I mean, he looks very proud.
I love how he's doing it in the Holland top.
Yeah.
What?
It's a Van Basten, I believe.
Number 19.
Oh, number 19.
Yeah.
Weghorst?
Maybe, I don't know.
Might be Weghorst.
Yeah, which is probably the fucking best thing about this article.
Yeah.
He done it in a fucking white Weghorst.
Anyway, he's holding on to that trophy for dear life. He looks calm himself. And next to him is a picture of local MILF Christine Rogers, age 43, who uncannily resembles some of the Irish cougars Aidan used to fiddle about with back in the day. She wrestled her way to victory on her 6th attempt at taking the women's title. So she's like... She was in the game for years.
Yeah.
And she's finally got it. It's kind of a nice thing. It's like seeing Nigel Farage get elected.
Yeah.
Like, he's been in the game for so long, and now he's finally an MP.
I know that this is a very niche and rogue sport, and we knew nothing about it. Well, I know I knew nothing about it until we covered it early this year.
Yeah.
But if any point in my life you showed me a photo of her and asked me what she does, I would have said gravy wrestling.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She's built for it.
Yeah.
She kind of looks like a shark.
A little bit.
Little bit. Like, she's hydrodynamic. Through that gravy, she's just like, she's swimming through it. Natural environment.
How much gravy was used this year, do you know? There was a mental amount the last time.
800 litres.
Fucking hell.
Which is like...
The same amount of dildos as P. Diddy had last week.
Yeah, so 1 litre of gravy per P. Diddy dildo.
He already has enough lube, too.
That's a new sentence. I don't
Probably.
think anyone's ever said that before.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
Would you like to guess what the pun? So she's wearing a costume, and there's like a pun
On the costume?
Yeah, that's her costume. For the listeners, it's a like sort of pink plaid shirt with an apron with a.
I haven't got
woman's-
a fucking clue, to be honest with you.
She's Barbie Q.
Ah, the apron.
So she's dressed up as Barbie,
yeah.
but also meat theme gravy. Barbie Q. Essentially Barbie wearing a grilling apron. Apparently last year she was Meaty Blinders. Would have loved to see that costume. Which has me thinking of some just extensive flaps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All I'm
Ones that
thinking
you
there-
need to do like this.
All I'm thinking there is beef curtains.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Meaty
I'm not
Blinders?
so sure about Meaty Blinders.
There has to be some sort of fucking porn website with that title. If not, we need to get onto that.
MeatyBlinders.com.
Yeah.
And it's just people with big labia.
Yeah. There's people that like that.
Labialovers.com.
I need to
Rufus-
unsubscribe from that email
with
chain.
Rufus and Aidan.
Yeah.
You know when they do a porn and they have an interview first?
Yeah.
Like they do question and answer. They basically do Q&A Sunday and then they do the porn.
Is there like a bit of analysis?
But like, has anyone ever listened to that? Ever? No.
I don't know. Yeah. I would assume not.
Because some porn is like, there's like a plot. And then some porn, they do an interview.
Yeah.
You know what
Do
I
you
mean?
just want to get into it?
I've never sat through any of the questions. What if it's like really enlightening stuff? What if it's like, what if it's...
It's like a fucking Diary of a CEO episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're like crying.
Stephen Bartlett's plugging Huel.
Stephen Bartlett is selling supplements. Yeah.
That's the most manipulative shit I've ever
Don't
seen.
they choose the music and the lighting specifically
Yeah.
to get people upset or something? Which, what would... If you were walking into Diary of a CEO,
Yeah.
what music would they have to have on to get you feeling the worst before you start?
Fuck. That's a great question. Is there anything that springs to your mind off?
Firstly, the scent that they're putting in the diffuser
Yeah.
is that guy with BO on the train from this morning. That's setting me off immediately.
That
Like the
would
room,
upset the best
room
of men.
just stinks of BO.
Yeah.
It's like blue LED lighting, strip LED lighting that gives
Really
you
cold. Yeah.
Vietnam flashbacks to university.
Yeah.
And then they're playing Love Shack because I fucking hate that song. That would be the worst.
What is
one.
that song?
You don't know?
I don't think so. Maybe if you sing a bit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together.
Maybe, yeah.
Love Shack, baby, yeah. You've heard that song.
Yeah, I think so.
I hate it because the silent disco walking tour that used to go past my house.
They loved it.
Well, it was at the same point on the tour every day, so I would hear Love Shack twice a day. But I can't hear the song. I can only hear the people singing it because it's a silent disco tour.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a bunch of drunk Hindus singing Love Shack badly outside my window twice a day, every day. And that does things to a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be how Diary of a CEO would get you in tears.
Oh, I'd be so fuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be ready to break.
I think just like any song from like Tones and I, that Dance Monkey one on repeat. I don't think it would make me cry. I think it would make me have a mental breakdown, which I suppose they also.
I think that's
happy
what
with
you
that.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you start like saying like, oh, my family used to live in a caravan or whatever.
Yeah. Like my living room had a handbrake.
Yeah, exactly.
And the scent, anything cinnamon makes me fucking puke for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Just light a cinnamon candle, which most people would find
That's the
relaxing.
best one.
That
Yeah.
would be
I might
raging.
choose that. Anyway, this event is a standard issue knockout competition with extra points awarded by the judges for fancy dress, comedy effect, and entertainment. So it's not just winning the wrestling.
What the fuck was
Which
his though? He had-
fancy dress? This guy's wearing a Holland top.
Yeah.
What is
Then
that?
he got some fucking
Dressed up as
5-year-old
Donny
Netherlands
van der
stuff.
Beek.
Somewhat resembles him.
Yeah.
More so.
He actually does look a bit Dutch, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, Christine on the right, Irish through and through, I think I would have thought.
She looks like what I imagine an English dinner lady would look like.
She's such a dinner lady, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
That's why she's such a pro. She's been working with the gravy for years.
yeah, she knows how to see through that shit.
Yeah.
She does look Irish though, yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like she might be an aunt of mine.
Right. That's concerning given what we said before about how she resembles some of the cougars that you shag. She actually got interviewed after this and said, "Are you going to consider retiring?" so
Right, you could retire from this shit.
Mate, this is like Messi after the World Cup.
It's also probably really insulting to her. She's
Well,
like,
she
what do
said,
you mean?
she said, "I'm not going to rule it out. Maybe I should go out on a high." The victory for George Young earned him a trophy and £100 as well, which it might buy a new Holland shirt after he ruined that one.
That's not enough money for this.
No.
I would need to be paid £100 just to participate.
Yeah. He said the win had made him something of a local celebrity. He said, this is an awesome quote from this, after winning this competition: "My name is going to live on forever, so it's pretty cool." Cool.
Fucking hell. He's going on as if he did just win a World Cup or something like
Yeah. Christine Rogers said the organisers put so much effort into the whole event. There's bouncy castles, food stalls, face painting, and of course the main event itself.
That's where they're only getting £100 because they're spending the rest of the budget on fucking gravy and face painting.
Yeah. The event organiser Jess Holt said of the championships, "It was a really great turnout despite the rain threatening us all day."
Really?
I'd want it to rain if I was wrestling because I feel like it's with a bit of water. I'd need it to soften up that grade.
Yeah, would dilute it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's easier for me to move through.
Surely it would be
I can
slippier.
Sorry?
Surely it would be slippier then, though. Oh, you want that?
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
So I feel like the slipperier it gets, the more chance I have.
Yeah. This isn't mixed, by the way, is it? It's just men.
No, they don't fight each other.
I would love to see that, though, because I think...
Oh, he'd lose.
Christine's
Christine's a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. She looks like the beast from The Chase. Same build.
Somewhat. Yeah. The most surprising thing about this is that she doesn't have armpit hair. If you saw her without the arms raised, you'd be like, there's definitely a fucking forest down there.
Right, yeah. Man, I was talking to a girl the other day.
Yeah.
Chatting on and on. I was in a bar in Portugal. No, that was my dad. Hang on. Different story. I wasn't chatting up my dad or whatever. But me and my dad went in a bar. But that's different to the time I went in a bar. It was on tour. And got chatting to this girl. Things going well. Thought might be in here. Armpit hair? No. I peeped the pits.
You peeped the pits?
I peeped the pits. And I thought, I don't live in the rainforest.
Yeah.
I can't occupy that territory.
Yeah. It's a matter of personal preference.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, not for me either.
Yeah.
Even though you look at mine and it's a fucking mess.
Yeah, but that's good because opposites, she can have some of yours. You know what I mean? Well, we've got enough to go around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's move on then to our next segment. This is your Aranka. And, there might be a bit of a touchy subject, but we like to push the boat out on this show, take a few risks sometimes. Today we're ranking the definitive top 3 races of all time. Aidan, if you'd like to do your number 3.
So my number 3 is the egg and spoon race.
Okay.
Childhood classic, high stakes. I don't think you can really go wrong with it.
It's definitely the best of the original races, I would consider. The sack race, the 3-legged race, and the egg and spoon. That's my triathlon.
Sports day staples
in terms of wacky races.
Yeah.
I think the egg and spoon is the best combo of precision and athleticism.
Yeah.
And also the other ones, like one of them, you're relying on a shit teammate in the 3-legged. And the sack, I feel like there's a bit of cheating.
There can be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a bit rigged.
It's a little bit rigged. And like somebody's got a better sack.
What is your technique for the egg and spoon? Are you slow and steady? Are you fucking dashing?
It's do or die for me.
Yeah,
so
you go for it.
Like I either come last because I break my egg, or I win by miles.
Yeah,
those are the only outcomes.
What about your number 3?
My number 3, white people. My number 3 is the 1500 meters. Hear me out. 100 meters. A lot of people would say that's the best event in the whole Olympics.
Yeah.
For me, too short. It's over too quickly.
Yeah.
Like those big boxing matches that everyone pays 60 quid to to watch.
Knockout in the second round.
Yeah, they last like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's way too short.
You want to see a 12-round classic with a knockout later
right.
on.
Yeah. But also, like, I respect the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Really respect the marathon, but it's too long.
Nice middle ground, you're saying?
And the 10,000 meters and those ones can absolutely get fucked because they're a shit sport to watch because it doesn't look like they're running very quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know they're running really fucking fast to do 10,000 meters in that time.
Yeah.
Like, it's skinny Africans absolutely pacing it. This Ugandan's on wheels, this guy. But it looks terrible.
Yeah.
Whereas the 1,500 meters is about 2 minutes. It's the perfect amount of time, and they are properly fucking going for it at the end. It's the perfect distance.
You don't want to watch any sort of race that doesn't last as long as the odds you have to watch before it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much build-up, so much coverage for 100 meters, and it lasts 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it's, okay, wow, that guy beat that guy by, like, this much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's always, between all of the people in the race.
Since Usain Bolt retired,
Yeah.
the 100 meters has been dead for me. Because he used to win by, like, half the track. And it was ridiculous. And it was awesome.
Actually, was it 2012 where he started really slowly, but then just...
Yeah. There was that one. And there was also the one where he got out to a great start and he actually turned around and looked at everyone else while he was going over.
Yeah.
What
or
a
the relay that year where it was just the 3 Jamaicans, him, Johan Blake, and what was the other one called? Can't remember, but...
Yeah, there was another Jamaican.
Yeah.
There's 4 in the team.
You can't have 3 Jamaicans in one team. I don't care if it's based in countries. That's cheating. That is doping in
I think the
world of racing.
bobsledders would disagree. Yeah, so that's my third. Your second?
My number 2 is the race to the bog after a Chinese. Specifically whenever you're in uni and you're sharing a house with maybe 3 or 4 other lads.
Is it that quick?
Well, you say you're out and about. By the time you get back, you know there's going to be a fucking queue for it.
Really?
And it can be really...
I don't
scary.
believe the human body can process stuff that quickly, personally. But
Really? Even after like a dodgy curry?
the next day...
If I'm eating a Chinese 10 minutes after finishing it, I will shit it out.
No.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
I don't know whether it's a build-up of whatever else I was eating before that,
Yeah.
but I will routinely, after my dinner every evening, I have a shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not the food you just ate.
Yeah, but a curry accelerates that. A spicy Chinese curry.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've had that issue a lot in uni, or say like a night out, and you know whenever everyone's had like a few Guinness and the next day everyone's dying and
No, this
shitting?
is all you, mate.
You've never had this?
Well, at uni, I existed on a diet of pretty much exclusively poke bowls, chewing gum, and vodka sodas. Which I said that, and I knew you were going to make fun of me for that already. But that's basically just what I ate.
I only really
I don't think I had a shit the whole time. It was so clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever you're in a house, like the day after a night out, everyone's still lying on sofas and they've had fucking stomach full of Guinness as well as whatever dodgy kebab they got the night before. And there's always someone occupying the bog.
Yeah.
And it's do or die. You know that you're about to shit yourself if you don't get there in time.
Right. In second year, once when I was really hungover, I came down into the living room and everyone was comparing cocks to see who's had the worst colour. So that's not what you want when you're hungover. Anyway, my number 2 is the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Classic.
Definitely the best one by miles, just purely on price. By the way, like, I know you despise Formula 1 and everything it stands for, probably.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just assumed.
Fair assumption.
Yeah. But if you were going to go to one, this is the one. Because it's basically just a party in Hungary. And there's some driving as well.
Is this the type of event that has like a full-on headliner, like concert
So,
and stuff?
so all of them do. I didn't really realise this. When I went to Silverstone this year, right, they had Kings of Leon and Stormzy and Rudimental.
Kings of Leon are fucking unreal. That's
Yeah.
class.
So it's basically just a music festival and there's a bit of driving.
Yeah.
And the Hungarian one, like, firstly, cheapest one by a mile. And we go out there, get on the lash. We have a massive sesh. We're so drunk we can't even watch the racing.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just massive fucking party.
That sounds... I could get behind it if that was involved.
So that's my number 2 race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 1. It is, yeah, I'm on number 1 now, aren't I?
Yeah, that's how it works. Go.
Down.
Yeah, the numerical values go down, but the ranks go up.
Yeah. I was confused in myself for a second there.
Yeah.
But my number 1 is Chinese people themselves for
They-
consistently delivering great fucking food to myself and my family every Saturday night for decades without fail.
yeah. So your number one is Chinese people.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
my number one is white people. So there we go. Okay, let's move on to questionable then, which is our audience participation segment where we ask you an intriguing inquiry and you give us intriguing responses. And then with intrigue, another word beginning with I. Investigate. Nice. Investigate the most imperative responses. Right, let's get started with this. We asked, what's the worst reason you've missed something important? Mm-hmm. This is a good one. You'll appreciate this story. I once got tasked with wrapping presents for a children's ward in Manchester. I was slagging off this job whilst having drinks with friends because who cares really? Absolutely terrible person. It's a children's hospital. It always boggles my mind how people get hired for the jobs they do. Like, someone who hates kids works in a children's hospital. Happens all the time. It's like when you see people who work in makeup and they've got the worst makeup on.
Yeah.
Like the people at the makeup counters in Boots or whatever are absolutely caked in every product in the world.
Yeah.
They look terrible.
Or whenever you go to a barber and your barber's got a shit trim.
They always got shit lids.
Yeah.
Always. Anyway, I said, I've had enough of wrapping presents for these moaning crotch gobbings, which wasn't a phrase I was aware of. And my mate's girlfriend said she was in there at 15 due to cancer. So I left and I've missed every social occasion since.
Oh.
Tough one to come back from.
Yeah. There's no point in even trying.
Yeah. It's like when I met this girl who had diabetes. Mm-hmm. So I met this girl, she had diabetes, and she's got a little screen and a monitor, which basically keeps track of her blood sugar levels. And I asked her if, I called her Iron Man because I could see the screen through her shirt. And I also asked, does it have games on it?
That is fucking quality.
Yeah.
The only example I have that could even compare to that is in Paddy's Day a couple of years ago. You know, everyone do like face paint, like a green, white, and orange. Or
yeah.
there was someone that was at a pre-drinks we were at, and I could just sort of see the side of her face, and I saw something there, and I was like, "Oh, where did you get the face paint?" She had a birthmark.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
I missed the train to my friend's funeral. Everyone's got that one guy who died.
Yeah.
Everyone's got that one guy who died.
This few of them.
This guy missed the train. Well, I have none, so you took my one.
I've got like 4, so I think I might have took Matt's as well.
Matt's, have you got a friend who died? Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, didn't
I take it back.
No.
You can have that one, Matt.
Missed the train to my friend's funeral because I was running a little bit late, but I just couldn't be caught running in public. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair. I'm sure your mate would understand.
It's like whenever I bring an umbrella to work, whenever it's pissing rain, but I always get too paranoid about the fact that I look like a gimp with an umbrella, so I just get soaked holding an umbrella.
I had a mate who was so self-conscious about this stuff, he wouldn't carry our swing ball set.
Why?
We're literally playing swing ball. You fuck. Yeah, I don't know why. He wouldn't carry it. He was like, I look gay when I carry it. What?
Probably, to be fair.
Yeah, but
It's the exact same reason why I don't put up the umbrella.
oh, you think you look gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for the past 3 days, I brought the umbrella into work, and it hasn't been erected once.
No.
I've just got happily
Great
got
use of the word erected. The worst one is when you run for the train and then you get on it and the doors don't close immediately.
Yeah.
And you're standing there and you're like, I could easily walk that. No, I look like a mug. And everyone on the train's like, hey.
And you're like sweating, and you're like, and it's 5 more people walk on.
Yeah. So easy. You could have made it so easily. Next one. I missed the family Christmas because I was out on a cocaine binge the night before. We spoke about the Christmas Eve chat.
Yeah.
And I didn't get in until 7 a.m. I then went for round 2 on Christmas night. You're a wrong un for that. Yeah. Going out on Christmas Day is so weird.
I agree with that. A lot of people back home do it, but in fairness,
I think Boxing Day is the first day where you're allowed to go out.
Boxing Day is like probably the best night out over Christmas.
Boxing Day is my favourite of the 3 days.
Or St. Stephen's Day if you're not a pagan.
Is that what they... Do you have to be a pagan to call it Boxing Day?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Nice. Next one. My colleague's wife had a brain bleed, very serious, and was rushed to hospital at midday. But it was Friday, so they had free pizzas arriving at 2. He waited for the pizza before seeing his wife. And he didn't even savour a slice.
Oh, fucking hell, that is
I
mental.
sort of get it. I'm sort of with him.
If I was to do it, I would be committing to it. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'll leave her half in case she survives. I'd be eating the whole thing.
The last thing I would want us to do was to wait for the pizza and then savour some. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Now you're just straddling both sides. Like, do you care about your wife or do you care about the pizza? Pick a side. Yeah.
You need to commit to one.
Yeah. And I don't care which way you go as long as you commit.
Yeah.
So respect to that guy. My mate missed his family burying his guinea pig because he wouldn't come downstairs when his mum called because he was in the middle of a tug.
In fairness, what do you do there? Because you can't go downstairs immediately because you're going to still be fucking erect.
Yeah, but you just tuck it into the waistband.
Yeah, that is a classic. I had to do that in school a lot.
A lot?
You never get boners in school?
Yeah, not a lot. Not like,
regularly.
the way you brought up, you
like
were basically constantly bricked.
between period like 3 to 6 most of the time.
That's prime time, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was
not weird at all.
It was regular enough to know the technique. Or you could kind of like put your hand in your pocket and hide it a bit. You ever use that technique?
Are you just holding it in your hand?
Yeah, more or less.
You're just holding it in your hand in your pocket. That's so grim. Someone's dad that I know did that. Like, this is something that would be totally unacceptable if it wasn't doing it to your own wife. But she's, you know, you guys are married. She knows you, so it's okay. Like, he used to like cut a hole in the bottom of his pockets of his trousers and slip his knob in there, and then be like, "Oh, honey, could you just get that out of my pocket?" And then it'd be his knob. And he's like happy to tell his whole family that he did that, which has then been relayed to everyone in the friend group. So yeah. I left my sister's birthday before they cut the cake, so the important stuff hasn't been done with yet. To shag this meaty goth in the same graveyard where my dad is buried. That's bad.
Oh, that is awful.
That's really bad. I put that one at the end.
What is it with goths and shagging in graveyards, by the way?
No, I get that. I wouldn't choose that one.
Is graveyards a popular dogging destination in England?
Yeah, because I feel like it's rare that people go, I wouldn't go into one at night. So you're unlikely to be disturbed. And some goths who've read Frankenstein when they were too young and it like scarred them for life or whatever are definitely into getting plowed over the headstone.
Yeah, they will be. But I'd be too scared. Like there's fucking ghosts and stuff.
Oh, that's what you'd be scared of?
Yeah. I do it during the daytime. Like off peak hours.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I'd
sooner do it at daytime. I still would be
off peak hours though. You wouldn't want commuter
no.
hours. Yeah.
Like 1 PM maybe?
I'm worried about the priest because there's always a chapel in a graveyard.
Yeah, and back in Ireland, the priest would be looking to get in on it.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh. Hello. Right. Well, thank you, Lewis. Well, I've just had some breaking news in down the wire from our sexual health correspondent, Lewis Clit, in London. It's a Suits reference, so anyone knows that. This is today's news. Today, of course, being the 5th of December, 1974, and a London court has awarded 53-year-old Olive Russell 23,000 in damages for a bingo accident that she said had ruined her sex life. Russell sued the bingo hall after her chair collapsed during a game, causing her to fall on the ground and hurt her back and head. She said on account of these injuries, she lost sexual interest in her husband. She got 23k, and the court also has awarded her husband 115 quid.
I'm a big fan of the husband being compensated, but the disparity is a bit unjust.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, let's break it down here. She has had spinal and head injuries, but he has lost, like, they're 53, 30 years of shags?
Are people still shagging at 53?
Hell yeah, brother. Probably. Right?
I'd like to think so, yeah, but I don't know.
I think it just gets better and better.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be more selfish whenever you're 53? Or you'll still be looking to pleasure?
Why did you ask me that?
Because
What is
even
that?
now, I've heard you before say that you just there for yourself.
I've never said that. I'm a very generous lover.
Right, so do you think you still will be generous in your 50s, or will you just want to get there and get it done?
I think I have less to live for,
Yeah.
so I'll be more generous.
And it also would likely be with a long-term partner, so you're still going to give as much of a
I wouldn't count you. I'll be on Freshers Week, mate. I'll be doing Jaeger bombs.
By the way, that is 200 times more she got paid than her husband.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Yeah, but
guarantee...
he 30 years of shag. Like, I feel like it should have been even Stevens. But
Yeah. I guarantee not being able to shag again is annoying him much more than her.
Because she doesn't want to because of the injuries.
Yeah.
So all she's got is back problems, basically.
Mm.
And he's got 30 years of no plough.
Do people live to 80 these days? Regularly?
Yeah, that's like below the life expectancy.
What is the life expectancy now?
What is it? I think it's like 81 for men and 84 for women.
I don't know if I want to see 80s. I'll enjoy like my 60s.
Are you surprised that it's that much?
Yeah.
What's it in where you live? Probably about.
No, I don't know any 80-year-olds.
And there's no old people.
Yeah.
They're all dead. Yeah, okay.
All my family had children and grandchildren really young, so like my granny and stuff.
Oh,
like
my
60s.
great granny lived till like 99.
That is mental. Did she have a good quality of life until then?
I don't know. I wasn't really there.
Yeah, true. You'd have been.
But I mean, as far as I can tell, she spent the last 20 years almost exclusively just eating biscuits and watching telly. So I can.
That
say-
sounds class.
Yeah, so I can say that's pretty good. Which is like some people do that now.
That is my average evening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like my great granddad was gone by then, so there was really like not much to do
Yeah.
except
Eat
chow down
biscuits
on
and
the bickies.
watch The Chase.
Yeah.
Mm.
Teachers would always tell you not to do this
Swinging on chairs.
because they were like, you're gonna end up paralyzed. They would always give you some horror story, like
One example.
Yeah. Oh, at lunch or something, as a joke, the guys took the chair away when that guy was about to sit down, and now he's in a wheelchair. Yeah. People, I think that has happened apparently at every school ever.
The amount of fucking scaremongering tactics used by primary school teachers
Yeah.
is mental.
Did your teachers ever tell you don't flick the lights on and on, off and on like that because they'll short circuit?
I don't know if I've ever done that, to be told that.
Like flicking the lights, the room lights on, apparently will fry the whole school or whatever.
Is there...
To be fair,
There probably is a chance of that. Not the whole school, but you blow the...
I guess so.
I've heard that. My
Like,
parents have told me that.
to be fair, like they always give you horror stories.
Yeah.
The science block in my school did burn down, but it wasn't, it wasn't anything we did.
Yeah.
It just sort of exploded because they had a load of chemicals in there. So I think that's on them, really.
Yeah, you can't really... Yeah, it's not the fault of someone swinging on a chair anyway.
No, exactly. But anyway, rough one for Olive. I think it's if a chair collapses on you, firstly, funny, also your fault. So I don't actually think she should have been compensated anything. I think the only person who should be paid is the husband for getting his shags ruined.
And more than a fucking poxy 115 quid.
115 quid. To be fair, back in the day, you could get a lot for 115 quid.
How many shags would you get for 115 quid now?
0 shags.
Yeah. On the market, like if you were to pay for it.
Oh, like 0.5 probably.
Right.
I'm saying that with confidence. I don't know. Depends where you are.
Depends how high class they are.
Yeah.
You could probably get that gravy wrestling woman for like 50 quid.
That's so rude. Christine, if you're listening, I am sorry about it.
And I'd pay upwards of 20 quid, Christine.
Anyway, that will do it for another episode of Radio Rufus. Hope you've enjoyed. It's been a thrilling ride for sure, and we'll be back next time. We've got a special guest next episode. Yes,
We do indeed.
we do. So we can all look forward to that. And in the meantime, don't go chasing your emotions. Lay all your love on me, and back to you in the studio.
I thought you were about to say don't go changing
Don't go
the
changing.
Spencer
Oh, the
FC
Spencer
thing.
I was gonna say something like that, but then I thought I said don't go, and that's how the song goes.
Yeah, it is.